Hello people, it's a sneezing monkey. Thanks for watching the video. I just came home from a long trip. I was in Germany, I had my birthday there. I live in the UK normally, so it was like a 2-week holiday. I had my birthday and then I got married last Saturday, which was an amazing experience. And I just want to share all that goodness with you guys. Actually, I got married to a Chinese girl. We've been together for a few years and we met in London. We studied together. So I met her family before. I went to China a few times. But this time, her family, for the very first time for this marriage ceremony, came over to Germany. And it was really an extraordinary experience for me because, to see how these people experience my home country and their view on things was just really really amazing, and also to see how they plan their holidays compared to us. Because for me personally, I don't know about you guys, wherever you live in the world, but if I go on a holiday, I want to relax, and that's like my priority. I don't want stress. I want no alarm clocks ringing in the morning. I want nobody to call me. I want to take my time for everything I do, and that's my main priority. And that means if I'm on a 1-week holiday in whatever country, I will definitely stay in this city for 3, 4, 5 days at least to really see the city and experience the vibe, just to see and to digest the place that I'm in. And in China, that seems to be, and you can see that with many Chinese people probably in your own town coming, it seems to be a very, very different matter. They just go there, it seems at least like that, to take pictures and to see as many places in a short time as possible. I had that already when I visited China, visited my wife and her family, and they wanted to take me around China and show me their country. So they invited me for that journey, and it was really great because, of course, all the time you are in a real Chinese family. You're not necessarily a tourist, you are with the people who live in the country, and that makes such a difference of how you experience this country. So they came to Germany and I wanted to do the same in return, of course, and I took them into the Black Forest, cities like Heidelberg, which have a really nice old part from 1200 whatnot, and they really enjoyed it because something like that they don't have. Another thing that I noticed is that they really love the blue sky with the clouds, because in China, at least when you live in a big city, you're just living in a permanent ball of dust and car exhaust. So is car exhaust the right word? Car gas. Car things that come out on the end of the car. And they just make the whole city really dusty and give it like a dirty feeling. And when I've been to China for 3 weeks, I also noticed that I really miss the blue sky, because you literally never see it. All you see is the sun behind like a layer of dust, and it's just all blurry. So they really enjoyed that. And then the thing is, they go to this place. Let's say we go to the Black Forest, and they get out of the car and they take a picture, and then they sit down on the grass and they pretend a nice scene in the grass. And it's like a photo shoot in a studio when you take photos for your, I don't know, your class or something like this at school. You get into a pose and you smile, and then you take the picture, and then you lose all interest in the place because you've just been there to take a picture. And some of you may now say, that's terrible, how can they do this? They don't have what it takes to experience a country. And to some part I agree, because I believe that wherever you go, it takes time to really digest the place you're in. You need to see things, and you can take photos. That's great. Taking photos is amazing, but you need time to digest where you are, I believe. But in China, it's different, and I pointed that out to them, and I said, we in Europe, we travel so differently, and we take our time for every place. And interestingly enough, they kind of just said, yeah, but that's because you have so much more time for your holiday. And I don't really agree with that, but I totally respect it, and I think it's a way of seeing things, and it's grown in their culture, and that's what they want to do, and that's what makes them happy. Then it's absolutely fine. Everyone can do whatever he likes, what makes them happy. It was just, for me, a really rich experience, but as you can imagine, of course, it's also very exhausting. And very demanding, because you're basically, for instance, I visited Heidelberg, Baden-Baden, Freudenstadt, and one little more town in one day. That's just one day. So you literally go from one place to the other in the car permanently on tour, and after a few days that just gets really demanding. But it's fine, you know, if they enjoy it and they enjoy to bring home all these photos and documents and share it with their friends, and look it through, and that gives them a really good time. I saw that in China, photography has just such a high value over there. So yeah, that's really the experience that I went through in the last days. And then before that, I got married. And the thing is, I'm not Catholic, I'm not the Christian, so I don't have any religion, so I'm an atheist. And because of that, I didn't really wanted to get married in a church and do it the very traditional way. But my wife really insisted on having these traditional elements, so I would have done it really small. But you know, she wanted to invite her family, and since then we had to also invite some of our friends, and it was actually really nice, because what we did is we celebrated outside under the sun next to a lake. We built up a tiny tent that nearly looked like 4 and 4 meters, a tiny tent with just where the ceremony happened, and we were really lucky with the weather. The sun was shining. We had trees next to the lake where you could sit under the trees. Built up these benches and had a buffet there, you know, where people can eat. And my wife came in her wedding dress from the lake towards the little tent, which nearly worked like a small chapel or something. And it was really, really nice and very, very touching. And I got so much positive feedback from people, so it's really very encouraging and made me really happy, even though of course before it was an enormous stress to get it all done in time. But I enjoyed it, and it was really great, and I'm happy that I'm married to my wife and that we got married now, and it's a really good step in my life. So yeah, that's it. But now I'm happy to be back, sitting here. I will do a few commentaries. I have a few days off now, so I had a few questions, like for instance, and let me look that up, from 4Clouds on YouTube, for the number CLODZ. And he is saying in a comment, can you introduce your build into a video? I would be very interested in what you are using. Partly that has been answered in my previous video, where I said that I'm using the Zalman microphone. You can watch that. In terms of machine, I'm just having a quad-core 2.3 megahertz, I think, processor with GTX 280, which runs the graphics, and capturing I'm doing with Fraps, which is the obvious solution on PC. I'm still working on improving the quality of my sound, my video, the whole experience, but for now that's what I'm using. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Thanks guys for all your positive feedback. I see you next time. Stay tuned, and please give me a like if you liked the video, or subscribe. Cheers, bye.